On the Quarantine Reviews, we learn the third secret of the fifth angel on the 16th day.
Got some power metal for you this time around. Probably not a surprise considering what the cover looks like. This is a concept album about the apocalypse. Fairly old territory, it has to be said, but I'm sure new material can be derived from it. Now, it has to be said, this was a bit of a tricky band to cover by virtue of a very stop-start nature to their existence. So it went from 1983 to 1990, pause, reformed in 2009, went to 2010, pause, reformed in 2017, and have been going since. And over the course of that period, they've only released 3 albums, this being the third one, released in 2018. And they've also had a rather large turnover of band members. Like Fifth Angel have consistently had between 3 to 5 band members at any given time, but they've had 12 different lineup changes, with only 2 of the founding 5 members still being a part of it to this very day. Those being John Mako and Ken K. Mary. In fact, the vocalist of this album changed. So the vocalist for this album was Kendall Bechtel. And yeah, as I say, they seem to have been a bit of a plagued band of misfortune and bad business decisions. But disregarding all of that, I may have to dig into the band a bit more later down the line. This is going to be another slight change in the format in that I didn't really have a least favourite track. So, without further ado, let's get into it. To be honest, whilst I didn't have a least favourite, I also had a tough time picking out a favourite because there wasn't really much that really stood out to me as especially gripping. It's a strong album, it's a solid one, and definitely there's nothing horrible about it. It's just, there were only 2 or 3 tracks that really made me go, okay, this is something different. A lot of it feels very standard NWO BHM. So, you know, it kind of comes across like if Dio was singing for Iron Maiden. It comes across very frequently like that. And that's definitely not a diss on them. It's like, as I say, it's a strong album, but for my own money, there were only really 3 tracks that really got me going. Queen of Thieves and Can You Hear Me really nicely changed the rhythm up and the sound. It sounded a lot more like their own style as opposed to mimicking other bands. But the track that really actually grabbed me was the title track, The Third Secret. That definitely helped to showcase what the band is capable of. It's got this nice pounding, marching, deliberate beat to it. There's a cool bass line that permeates the verses and builds very nicely into the guitar solos that litter the song. And there's this really cool downplayed feel going around the verses that very effectively explodes into the choruses. It has to be said that Kendall Bechtel, wherever you are, I hope you're doing well in terms of your guitar work, because when you get a chance to let loose, you really show your chops. Now, if you're unfamiliar with your biblical stories or anything like that, the Third Secret is an allegory for wormwood. It's not really an allegory, it is outright singing about wormwood, which is the star that falls on the third part of the waters and corrupts them. It does feel a bit timely, considering we've got an asteroid that is flying very close to us at the moment. So Let's hope we get past the date that's meant to go past. The way this year is shaping up, who knows? As I say, no least favourite on the album because there was always narrative comprehension and musical cohesion, and you never felt like the momentum broke. It's just, it never broke past sort of a feeling of, yeah, this is decent, this is nice, I'm enjoying this, but I wanted a bit more from it. Overall, Third Secret is a decent enough album, and it's worth a listen. I wouldn't necessarily say to actively buy the album, but definitely support the band by listening to various outlets like Spotify and contributing to any of their business ventures. For my money's worth, Third Secret by Fifth Angel gets a 3.5 out of 5. That's it for this episode. Stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully will not be subject to wormwood.